Hi guys, welcome back to the DevOps tutorials. In today's session, we'll see how to install Sonar onto our Linux instance and get started with it. Let's go to Sonar's homepage, which is www.sonarqube.org, and in here we'll go into the download section. Now before we get started with the installation, let's check the prerequisites for running Sonar. So go into system requirements. So the software prerequisites are that we need to have Java installed onto a machine, and the version of Java that will be required is Java 7. So let's go into the terminal and check if we have Java 7. So type Java space hyphen version. As you can see that we already have Java 7 installed, so the first condition has been met. Now let's check what are the rest of the conditions. The hardware requirements. So we'll need 2 GB of RAM for the SonarQube server and 1 GB of free space for the operating system. So overall we'll require 3 GB of RAM for running SonarQube efficiently. The VM that I'm using already has been allotted 6 GB of RAM, so we need not worry about the first requirement. The second requirement is the amount of disk space that is directly proportional to the amount of code that we'll be analyzing in the SonarQube. For the VM, I've already allotted 16 GB of disk space, so second requirement has also been met. And the third requirement is that the hard disk or the hard drive should have excellent read-write performance. So that has also been met as I'm using a very good hardware. Then the next requirements are SonarQube uses a database for storing the analysis results, for storing the metrics and the statistics. So that is by default stored in a Derby database, which is kind of an embedded database that runs along with SonarQube. But if the user requires to change this, he can do the same, and he can use either SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, or PostgreSQL. So these are the versions of the respective databases that we can use. So the version of Sonar that we'll be installing is the LTS version, which is around 4.5. So for that, these are the minimum versions of the databases that will be required in case you want to change the database for storing the metadata about the analysis. And the next thing is that we'll be requiring a web browser for viewing the dashboard. So the web browser requirements are shown on the screen. So we can either use a Microsoft Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Opera, or Safari. So we are already using Mozilla Firefox, so that requirement has also been met. So we have passed all the prerequisite conditions for running SonarQube. Now let's go back and begin the download. So we'll go back and we'll download the SonarQube's 4.5.7 LTS version. So click on download. You can click on save file and click on OK. We are not going to download again because we have already downloaded it. So let me show you where the download is. So we'll go into, we are already into download, so let's check what is here in downloads. So as you can see, SonarQube 4.5.7 is already downloaded. So let's go and unzip that. So we'll use the unzip command and we'll unzip this SonarQube's zip. Now let's move this folder into the servers folder. So type
Now let's go into the servers directory. Then into Sonar Qube. So let's see what we are supposed to do next. After downloading and unzipping the SonarQube distribution, we are supposed to run the SonarQube server by executing this command, for which we need to find the script and we need to execute this command with console as the argument. So let's go in the bin directory and we'll go into Linux x86 and the 64-bit system, and over here you'll find the Sonar script. The argument that we need to specify is console. So let's hit enter. So the SonarQube server is getting launched. Let's wait till it is up and running. So as you can see that the SonarQube server process is now up. Let's go onto the web browser and check if the SonarQube server is actually up. So for this we need to go to localhost :9000. We'll hit enter. So this is the SonarQube dashboard that has been loaded. Since now we do not have any projects into the SonarQube engine, here you can see that it shows no data in this section of projects. So let's go and analyze some projects. So we'll go back to the getting started in 2 minutes page and let's see what's next to do. We need to download two zip files, which are the SonarQube scanner and the Sonar examples I have already downloaded these two, so we'll go back and we'll just unzip them. So here you can see that the Sonar scanner and the Sonar examples have already been downloaded. Let's unzip them. And let's unzip the examples as well. Okay, so now that I have unzipped, now let's go to the next step, which is to analyze the project, for which we need to execute the Sonar runner. So first we need to go into the Sonar examples directory and we'll go into this path, and from the Sonar runner directory we need to execute this Sonar runner command. So let's go and do that. So first what we'll do is we'll first check where do we stand, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the Sonar scanner directory. We'll check what's in there. I can see the bin directory, cd bin. Let's see what's in there. So here is the Sonar runner and the Sonar scanner that we are supposed to run. Let's take this path and we'll go into the Sonar examples, within which we'll go into the projects directory. Then we'll go into languages and we'll go into Java Sonar runner till here. Copy this and paste it over here. So let's go into this, and for your reference I'll just give you the exact and absolute path. So this is the path that we are supposed to be in right now, and the command that we need to execute from this path is copy this from the Sonar scanner, paste it over here, and I'll run the Sonar scanner command. So let's do that. And see what happens. So as you can see, the Sonar scanner is now analyzing the project, and it has executed it successfully. So the analysis has been completed successfully. Now let's go on to the dashboard and check what are the results of the analysis. So we'll go on to the dashboard, and what we'll do is we'll refresh this page. And now you can see that there is one project called Java simple project not compiled Sonar Qube scanner. So let's go into this by clicking on that project, and this is what we get as a result of our analysis. So as you can see that it has 31 lines of code, 2 files, 2 functions, 2 classes, 16 statements, and 1 directory. It has around 48.6% of duplication, and it has some complexity as well. And you can see that there are some issues, around 12 issues with it. We can go into the issues and check what are those. So you can see that these are the list of issues that your code has. So let's go and check the code. This is the hello world Java code that has been analyzed. As you can see, it clearly shows on which line there is an issue. So what it's saying is instead of system.out or system.err, we should replace that with a logger. So Sonar Qube will give you hints about how you can improve the code and where you can improve the code. So that's pretty much about it for now. That was how we install Sonar Qube onto a Linux instance and get started with it, analyzing our first project. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next session.